All right, next stock here, Mongo Database. Let's actually start with the chart real quick. Let's go to MDB here. Here's what we're looking at on Mongo. Stock is up 23.98%, and you can see exactly what that's doing here. We actually gapped, the last earnings report, we actually gapped strongly above the 200-day moving average, created a nice island here and maintained that throughout the entire process. Now we're popping again, and look where we're popping to. We're popping right to a consolidation area. It is worth noting we do have a high up here about 507, another $100 from where we're at. The all-time high, I believe, is 586. So here's where we're at. Let me zoom out here a little bit more. One of the things that we'll be looking at here is just a very simple trend line. This, to me, represents a target for today if we have a gap and go situation or if we continue to trade higher. It's trend line up at about 447. That is still 40 points higher than where we're at. And I'm basically just eyeballing that by using the chart. Could we get there? Well, we'll see. They smashed Q3 earnings and they raised their full year 26 outlook. Shares obviously ripping up by just shy of 25%. We'll see if we can get any more out of that. Mongo Database reported its financial results for the third quarter of fiscal 2026 after the market closed on Monday. Mongo posted third quarter revenue of $628.31 million. That beat the analyst consensus estimate of $591 million. Nice big beat there. That was according to Benzinga Pro. The data platform company reported third quarter adjusted earnings of $1.32 per share, which beat analyst estimates of 80 cents per share. Total revenue increased 19% year over year as subscription revenue grew 19% and service revenue rose by 12%. The company said it added 2,600 customers in the quarter, bringing its total customer count to up to more than 62,500. That is of October 31st. Mongo Database generated free cash flow of $140.1 million during the period and ended the quarter with $2.3 billion in cash. Quote, Mongo Database delivered strong third quarter results that exceeded the high end of our guidance, driven by continued strength in Atlas, which saw growth accelerate to 30% year over year. We also delivered meaningful margin outperformance as we executed our plan to drive profitable growth. Reflecting this strength, we're raising our guidance on the top and bottom line for the rest of the year. That came from CJ Desai, President and CEO of Mongo Database. They expect fourth quarter revenue to be in the range of $665 million to $670 million versus estimates of $625 million. The company also guided for second quarter adjusted earnings of $1.44 to $1.88 per share versus estimates of 93 cents per share. Another big beat there. Mongo raised its revenue guidance for fiscal 2026 to a range of 2.43 to 2.44. That was up from 2.34 to 2.36. Analysts are looking for full year revenue of $2.36 billion. Company also raised its fiscal 2026 adjusted earnings guidance from a raise of 3.64 to 3.73 per share to a new range of 476 to 480 versus the estimates of 371. Again, just a huge beat there. That's why we're trading higher here. Looking at the chart, would love to hear if any of you have a trade plan or a trade idea here on Mongo Database after these earnings are out of the way.